This is a fact. 2024 is set to make history in the economy. Having potential interest rate cuts by the Fed happening sooner than foreseen and the highly anticipated United States presidential election, this year holds immense potential that no investor wants to miss out on.
I think they're going to cut rates, and I think they're going to cut rates sooner than people expect. I think there's a risk of a hard landing if the Fed doesn't start cutting rates, pretty soon. So, I think the market expects sometime middle of next year. I think it's more likely probably as early as Q1.
The carefully selected 6 stocks that will be presented in this video will be the only ones you will need to take part of this opportunity. Don't believe me? Sit back, grab a notepad, and stick till the end of this video, and I will convince you. The first one on this list is Walt Disney Corporation. Now, even if the share does not seem too beneficial over a 5-year period with an approximate loss of 18%, when major movements inside a company like that occurred, it could be a hint for a buying opportunity to invest. Indeed, during their earnings report for the fourth quarter of 2023, Disney announced a significant increase of nearly 63% to their net income. With this news, Disney investors tend to forget the fluctuations of the last 5 years, because since the announcement of the Q4 earnings report, Disney is up about 12% according to the price of January 1st, 2024. But that is not the only reason for this stock to rebound, because they announced a return of 30 cents per share of their quarterly dividend that had been discontinued for 3 years because of the effect of the pandemic on their growth because of the temporary closure of all their parks. This is proof that the financial situation of this company is progressive and has potential for the upcoming year, because a company that can afford to pay dividends to its investors is a company that has strong financial results. During Q4 of 2023, 16 of the 95 largest investors in the world held this stock, with 8 of them being a purchase in the last quarter, which proves that this stock is even appreciated by the largest investors in the world. It ranks 5th according to the number of purchases of super investors, but is the first according to the percentage change according to the portfolio of investors. This means that Disney was the most purchased stock in terms of volume during the fourth quarter of 2023. Bill Gates, Michael Lindsell, and Nelson Peltz, with a whopping 43% of Trion Fund Management portfolio, are only some of the 18 super investors that are currently owning Disney stock. Second on this list is American Tower Corp, a stock with tremendous potential in 2024. This company is a global real estate investment trust, or REIT, that owns and operates infrastructure in various countries. While the stock market has seen an incredible year in terms of return, with an increase of around 21%, for the real estate market and AMT performance, it's by no means the same story. In 2023, the company experienced a slight decline of around 2%, largely due to the impact of rising interest rates. However, with the potential for interest rate cuts in 2024, which are planned to come sooner than we think, the real estate market, including companies like AMT, could see a positive shift.
One of the most bullish things that's been happening is inflation has turned out to be relatively transitory. I think the Fed's target of 2% could be achieved well ahead of schedule. And as a result of that, the stock market and the bond market have been anticipating that the Fed not only is done raising rates, but is going to be lowering interest rates this year.
The Federal National Mortgage Association recent report suggests that single-family mortgage originations are expected to undergo a slow but meaningful recovery in 2024. As we look ahead, the prospect of a recovery in the housing market presents an exciting opportunity for long-term investors, as the housing market can take time to recover, but is truly worthwhile in the long run. AMT also offers dividends of 3.17% paid quarterly, which is another advantage for its long-term investors who have historically proven to be profitable. There are also 3 super investors that are currently holding in Q4 2023 for upcoming 2024 potential growth. Third one on this list is Costco, a compelling investment opportunity in 2024 for several reasons. Firstly, the company has demonstrated strong long-term performance since its IPO in 1985. Costco's stock has exhibited remarkable growth, with an increase of over 75,000%, translating a $1,000 investment into more than $750,000. And that's without including reinvested dividends, which the total return soars to an impressive 110,800%. In December, Costco announced special dividend news, introducing a new payout of $15 per share instead of a fixed percentage. After the announcement of this dividend change, the stock climbed about 6% in a day, demonstrating a movement of new long-term buyers who want their share of the dividends distributed by Costco. Considering Costco's history of consistent dividend distribution to investors and the company's commitment to rewarding shareholders, this reinforces its appeal as a reliable investment option. Costco's overall robust and unique business model, which continues to propel the company into the future with many recurring customers bringing in considerable revenues for Costco each month, is not likely to slow down anytime soon, making it an incredible value investment to hold long-term. The fourth stock on this list is Canadian Pacific. Well, Canadian Pacific Kansas City Core, because the company recently completed a $31 billion acquisition of Kansas City Southern, which expands their rail access to 3 of the world's largest countries, Canada, the USA, and Mexico, giving them a huge competitive advantage. The share price has been fairly stable over the past 1 year, with a slight increase of around 1%, but has risen by around 107% over a 5-year period, as we can see in this graph, with very few variations since 2020. This is pretty common with this stock, having slow and steady growth for years straight, and having one big news that affects the stock to skyrocket the following year. Now, having such a configuration in recent years with this stock is promising for long-term investors to take the opportunity to invest before a new significative, allowing the stock to grow considerably. Additionally, the stock's fair P/E ratio below 30 further underscores its appeal as an investment opportunity. Analysts anticipate a strong increase in earning per share, with an expected increase starting as soon as 2024 by cutting expenses the least possible and keeping the same pace in terms of revenue progression. There are currently 6 super investors holding CP in Q4 2023, with Bill Ackman and Chris Hone with TCI Fund Management, with a $5.2 billion value combined. The next stock that will have major importance in 2024 is Google. Indeed, in 2023, Google's stock performance was notable. As of the latest data, the stock is currently trading at around $140 a share, with a PE ratio of approximately 28. This indicates that investors are willing to pay $28 for every $1 of earning. While that data may seem relatively high, it's important to consider the importance of Google's market cap in the sector of tech, taking both first and second place as the most used research tool, with Google itself and YouTube with no sign of slowing down anytime soon. In addition, Google has also demonstrated advances in the AI sector, which look promising for the future of the company, as it claims that their version is going to be much more powerful than ChatGPT-4, being the strongest and best used tool on the market at the moment. At his launch, Gemini is expected to support audio and image files, a first in the world of artificial intelligence, and one that holds great promise for its future success. Given Google's financial capacities, it will not be surprising that this project is currently being designed by the world's top developers in the world. 38 of the world's 95 super investors like Bill Ackman, Bill Gates, and many more are currently owning Google stock, making it the most widely held stock among the world's wealthiest investors. The last but not least stock on this list is the undeniable S&P 500. Yes, whatever the market you're facing over time, you should always dollar-cost averaging the S&P 500 and hold it long-term, because the longer you hold, the better your probability of being profitable are. Warren Buffett says it's better when it comes to investing into index funds.
I think it's the same thing that makes most sense practically all of the time, and that is to consistently buy an S&P 500 low-cost index fund, keep buying it through thick and thin, and especially through thin. You see bad headlines in newspapers maybe to say, well, maybe I should skip a year or something. Just keep buying it. American business is going to do fine over time.
This was the only 6 stocks you will ever need in this upcoming year of 2024. Keep in mind, this list was entirely created by our team and based on some of the most popular investments by super investors. But you should always do your own research if you want to invest for yourself. Thanks for staying till the end of this video, and here's another one you might like.